Stop being a camera robot, the 3-shift system. Let's be honest, your brain has a secret idiot switch, and it's triggered by that tiny shiny glass circle on the back of a smartphone. You know the drill. You're at dinner, you're charismatic, you're telling stories, you're basically the Oscar-winning lead of your own life. But the second a friend points a camera at you and yells, "Stay there, smile," you experience a total neurological meltdown. In that exact millisecond, you forget how to be a human being. Your arms suddenly feel like two heavy, useless logs of driftwood that you've never owned before. Your legs turn into rigid concrete pillars, and you lock yourself into a jagged wooden pose while wearing a smile that looks like you're being held hostage by the scenery. You aren't unphotogenic, my friend. You've just fallen into the trap of static tension. You're trying to be a statue when you were designed to be a story. Most people look like a distorted potato in their camera roll because they treat photography like a passive recording. It's not. It's an active selection. And if you don't take the director's chair, randomness will do it for you. And randomness is a terrible photographer. I am Mr. Simple, and I use the simplest, least awkward ways to help you master photography. Today, we are performing an exorcism on your camera awkwardness. We're moving away from the robot stance and into the world of fluid, effortless vibes. We're going to fix your hands, your legs, and your brain using 3 structural shifts that work every single time. Shift 1, the hand sanctuary. Give the claws a job. The biggest source of camera anxiety isn't your face, it's your hands in terms of human evolution. Idle hands signify a state of vulnerability. When you have nothing to do with your hands, your subconscious brain screams, "Danger!" which causes your shoulders to hike up to your ears and your fingers to clench into awkward, prehistoric claws. Most people respond by letting their hands hang limp at their sides like wet noodles, or worse, they hide them entirely. The fix, the functional micro-task. You must give your hands a sanctuary, a specific, logical job to perform. But here's the kicker. It has to be a functional job, not a performed one. The lens can smell a fake pose from a mile away. First, let's talk about the pocket rule. Never just shove your hands deep into your pockets like you're trying to find a lost marble. That deletes your wrists and makes you look visually amputated. Instead, use the 80-20 rule. Put 4 fingers in but leave the thumb out, or hook just your thumb and let the fingers fan out. This creates what I call visual breathing room. It tells the viewer, "I'm so comfortable here that I'm just hanging out." Next, try tactile engagement. Instead of just placing your hand on your shoulder or face like a dead fish, try to actually feel the texture of what you're touching. If you're wearing a denim jacket, run your thumb along the stitching of the collar. If you're touching your hair, don't just grab a clump. Let your fingers graze your scalp as if you're fixing a stray strand. This physical sensation forces your hand muscles to relax. Finally, remember the asymmetry principle. Symmetry is the enemy of interest. If one hand is in a pocket, the other should be doing something else, adjusting a watch, holding a lapel, or lightly resting on a hip. You want to create a diagonal flow that leads the eye around the frame. When your hands have a job, your shoulders naturally drop. A hand with a purpose is a hand that looks natural. Shift 2. Kinetic Geometry. If the hands are where the anxiety starts, the legs are where the stiffness is locked. Most people stand for photos like they're being measured for a suit or a prison jumpsuit. Weight distribute 50-50, shoulders squared to the camera. This is the mugshot stance, and it is the widest, flattest, and the most boring way to present the human body. It deletes your curves and turns you into a thick block of wood. The fix, the principle of constant displacement. The secret to looking dynamic is simply never letting your legs stay still. You want to create triangles and diagonals with your lower body. In art, triangles represent stability and beauty. In photography, they represent life. Start with the slow motion walk. Instead of standing, actually walk. but do it at 10% of your normal speed. As you walk toward the camera, make sure one foot crosses slightly in front of the other. Think of it as the catwalk hack. This forces your hips to sway naturally and narrows your silhouette, making you look taller and leaner instantly. If you have to stand still, use the weight shift. Put 90% of your weight on your back leg, the one further from the camera. This naturally tilts your hips and forces your front leg to bend slightly at the knee, creating an S-curve. It's the difference between a flat snapshot and a professional portrait. And don't be afraid to change your height. Squatting near a wall or sitting on a curb breaks the eye-level boredom. When your knees are at different heights, you've already won. Motion is the cure for the wooden body. Shift 3. The third element. Most people treat a photo like a high-stakes duel, me versus the camera. That is way too much pressure. You need a third party to break the tension and absorb your nervous energy. You need a prop. A prop isn't just an object. It's a psychological anchor that gives you a reason to be in the frame, so you don't feel like a narcissist just standing there. The fix: functional interaction. The biggest mistake is holding a prop like it's a trophy. If you're holding a coffee cup but staring at the camera with a dead expression, the cup looks like a cheap stage prop. You have to use it. Try focus distraction. Use something that requires your genuine attention. A camera, a book, a newspaper, or even your phone. If you are looking down at a book, your eyelids drop, your facial tension disappears, and the photo feels like a candid slice of life. It's no longer a pose, it's a scene. You can also interact with the environment. The world is your playground. A railing isn't just a fence, it's something to lean your elbows on while you look at the view. A wall isn't just a background, it's a support for your shoulder while you cross your legs. When you lean, you lose the rigid vertical line and gain a relaxed diagonal flow. And the ultimate prop, a drink, coffee, water, whatever. It gives your hands, your mouth, and your eyes something to do simultaneously. Take a sip, look at the ice cubes, and suddenly you aren't posing for a photo. You're just a person having a drink. Props act as a lightning rod for your camera shyness. When you are busy interacting with the world, the camera becomes a secondary observer, and that is exactly when the real you shows up. The emergency troubleshooting kit. If you've tried the shifts and you still feel like a robot, here are 3 panic buttons to press. First, the turtle method for double chins. When we're nervous, we instinctively pull our chin back into our neck. It's a survival reflex, but it looks terrible. Imagine you are a turtle reaching for a leaf. Push your entire forehead slightly forward and down toward the lens. It feels ridiculous, but on a 2D sensor, it sharpens your jawline instantly and separates your face from your neck. Second, the exhale, secret for dead eyes. If your eyes look like glass, it's because you're holding your breath right before the shutter clicks. Take a deep breath and exhale through your mouth. This relaxes the tiny muscles around your eyes and lips. An exhaling person always looks more present and less like a taxidermy project. Third, the side hand rule. Never point the palm of your hand directly at the camera. It'll look like a giant frying pan. Always keep your hands on the same plane as your torso and show the side of the hand. It keeps the lines delicate and graceful. The philosophy of the shot. Why does this work? Because of the observer effect. In physics, observing a particle changes its behavior. In photography, pointing a camera at a human changes their soul. You become self-conscious by giving your hands a task, your legs a direction, and your mind a prop. You are effectively distracting your conscious mind. You move from "how do I look" to "what am I doing?" The best photographers aren't the ones with the most megapixels. They are the ones who know how to talk their subjects into a state of flow. Since you can always have a pro behind the lens, you have to become your own director. You have to internalize these 3 shifts so that the next time someone says cheese, you don't freeze, you move, you touch, you play, you become a story in motion. Photography is the art of deciding what reality feels like. It's not about the gear, it's about the structure of your seeing. Subtraction removes the noise. No eye contact removes the pressure. Movement restores the life, and directional light adds the depth. Take 10 portraits this week. Use your 2x lens only. Tell your subject they are forbidden from looking at the lens. They must be doing something, walking, drinking tea, or flipping through a book. Don't worry about perfection. Focus on structural shifts. You will notice the person didn't change, but the meaning of the image did. You've moved from recording a person to documenting a soul. I am Mr. Simple, and I use the simplest ways to help you master photography. Remember, a pose is a cage that traps your personality, but movement is the key that sets it free. Stop trying to be a masterpiece and just start being a person. Peace.